A sovereign surprise. Trump establishes U.S. Wealth Fund. In a move that sent shockwaves through the financial world, former President Donald Trump signed an executive order on February 3, 2025. This order created the first-ever U.S. sovereign wealth fund. These funds are government-owned investment vehicles. They are typically used to invest in assets around the globe. The move was unexpected. The United States, with its history of budget deficits, had never before considered such a fund. The fund, according to official statements, is intended to be a tool for economic development. It aims to promote fiscal sustainability. It also seeks to reduce the tax burdens on everyday Americans. The fund is part of a broader strategy to enhance U.S. economic and strategic leadership on the world stage. However, one potential target of the fund has already drawn significant attention. Trump has suggested that the fund could be used to purchase the American assets of TikTok. TikTok is a popular social media app. It is currently owned by ByteDance, a Chinese company. This move, if it happens, would be the culmination of years of efforts by Trump to exert control over the app. Eye on the prize TikTok in the crosshairs. Trump's interest in TikTok is not new. He sees the app as a national security threat. The administration argues China could access user data. This data could be used for espionage or disinformation. Trump attempted to ban or force the sale of TikTok. In 2023, an executive order to ban TikTok was blocked. A judge ruled the administration overstepped its authority. Trump continued pressuring ByteDance to sell TikTok. He argued this was the only way to address security concerns. In January 2025, TikTok was briefly taken offline in the US. ByteDance agreed to divest from its Chinese interests. As of February 2025, TikTok is unavailable for new downloads. Existing users can still access the app. The future of TikTok in the US remains uncertain. A new approach. From bans to investments. The creation of the Sovereign Wealth Fund represents a significant shift in strategy for the Trump administration. Previous attempts to regulate TikTok focused on bans, forced sales, or legal challenges. These methods proved to be both controversial and ultimately ineffective. The Sovereign Wealth Fund offers a new approach. It allows the U.S. government to directly acquire assets deemed vital to national security or economic interests. This move is not without its critics. Some argue that it is an overreach of government power. They worry that it could lead to the politicization of investment decisions. Others have raised concerns about the potential for conflicts of interest. They point out that the fund will be managed by a newly created federal agency. This agency, they argue, will be susceptible to pressure from politicians. Despite these concerns, the creation of the Sovereign Wealth Fund is a clear indication of the Trump administration's determination to exert greater control over key sectors of the economy. The potential acquisition of TikTok is just one example of how this fund could be used. It remains to be seen how this new tool will be used in the years to come. Section 4. The Money Trail, Funding and Managing a National Coffer. The United States Sovereign Wealth Fund will be managed by a newly established federal agency. This agency will be responsible for making investment decisions and overseeing the fund's assets. The initial capital for the fund will come from the U.S. Treasury. However, there is potential for additional funding from private investors. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has stated that the fund will aim to monetize U.S. assets. This suggests that the fund may look to invest in a wide range of assets, including real estate, infrastructure, and natural resources. Trump has also suggested that tariffs could be used as a funding mechanism for the fund. This would represent a significant departure from traditional methods of funding sovereign wealth funds. Bessent and Commerce Secretary nominee Howard Lutnick have been given 90 days to develop an operational strategy for the fund. This strategy is expected to outline the fund's investment objectives, risk tolerance, and governance structure. The development of this strategy will be closely watched by investors and policymakers alike. Section 5. Global Stage American Exceptionalism, or Following the Pack. The creation of a U.S. sovereign wealth fund is a significant development in the global financial landscape. Sovereign wealth funds are common in nations with large natural resources or fiscal surpluses. Norway has the world's largest sovereign wealth fund, funded by oil revenues. China also has a large sovereign wealth fund, investing globally. The US, with its budget deficits, has been an outlier. The new fund suggests a shift towards a more interventionist economic role. The move has mixed international reactions. Some worry about protectionist uses. Others see it as the US managing its long-term interests. The US Sovereign Wealth Fund is a bold move with far-reaching implications. It remains to be seen how it will be managed and its global impact. One thing is certain, the world will be watching closely.